Yes, it is cold. It's -7. Anyway, so the last few videos, we were talking about bureaucratic sludge, which is the problem where there's incompetent processes and things that slow down. So regular people like you and I are wasting time, losing wages, and the country is losing tax income, right? So I thought, well, what was the opposite of this? And it would be ruthless efficiency, where you get rid of all the stuff. So an example here would be Estonia getting rid of digitizing 99% of their state services. So removing the human element and the time needed to go back and forth and stamping and things. But the ultimate example is probably Singapore's hardline drug policy, where they removed the debate of punishments versus rehabilitation and went straight to a binary discussion where it was like, if you traffic, you die. It doesn't matter where you're from. Vietnam, Malaysia, Australia, it doesn't matter, straight to the gallows if you bring any form of drugs into Singapore. And obviously a lot of human rights activists say, hey, that's bad and against all these human rights. And they were like, what about our rights? Because when these people bring drugs through the country and it enters communities, it ruins not one life, it ruins an entire family and the communities and all these other domino effects that impact such a small country that doesn't have all these resources. And they're saying we just don't have the space to build all these prisons and house these people, and we don't want them to come back, so we're just going to kill them and send a really clear message to the world, which is why Singapore has one of the lowest rates of illegal drug use in the world, and it's also one of the safest places in the world. However, there is the flip side of this is that if you have whether it's a good leader or a bad leader, it doesn't matter. If you've chosen to do something that doesn't serve the nation or the community or whatever, you end up driving off a cliff and bringing everybody with you at 100 miles an hour with no speed bumps, because that's also the purpose of public consultations and all the bureaucracy that's needed. So finding somewhere in between is really important, and not just dozing things without maybe checking why some of those processes were there to begin with. So just a bit of food for thought there.